What's up guys, this is Sean and today we're going to check out Allevia in Mont Kiara. Let's go! Hey guys, we are now back in Mont Kiara again, and you can see the lifestyle in Mont Kiara is just different. So for those who don't know, Mont Kiara is one of the most famous locations in KL for several reasons, right? One is because of its ultimate high density of residents packed into one location. The next one would be the density of expats and international schools here. And because of that, a lot of lifestyle elements are being integrated around this area where you have the cuisines of different nationalities, you have the workout areas. The number of gyms here are just insane. But what I'm going to do now is we're going to check out the show unit first before we check out the site. Let's go. First get our coordinates right. This is Mont Kiara as a whole. Just to be a little bit more precise, Mont Kiara International School is this side, our Coris. And this is where Jalan Kiara 1 is. Jalan Kiara 3, where it connects into Segambut area. This will be Jalan Kiara 4, and the end of it, we have Allevia. So within walking distance, you can already enjoy the entire cluster of convenience around this area. So you have the 163 retail park here, Plaza Mont Kiara where the offices are, Mont Kiara which is the mall, Aquaris, then also the school. So you have Gardens International School on one side, MKIS on the other, and that is just amazing. If that's just not enough, right, you can just go over to Desa Sri Hatamas commercial area, or you can just travel a little bit more to Solaris Mont Kiara where my office is, then that connects you further into Paprika. This location is so popular also because of its connectivity. You can see the usual Sprint Highway and Penchala link that connects to this location. Then you also have the other one, the Jalan Tuta Sungai Buloh Highway that connects to Duke and North-South Highway. And within 10 to 15 minutes away, you get to connect to Jalan Kuching, and that connects you to KL City already. And because of that, this location has been that favorite spot for expats to locate their families here while they report to the office in KLCC area. So this will be the project for today. 294 units freehold land called Allevia. And so I'm going to just point out, this is Jalan Kiara 4, this is Jalan Kiara 3. So this is the one that connects into Segambut, and it has always been very busy. Therefore, the team actually decided to open up this instead, Jalan Kiara 4, which is good. And because of that, they decided to just leave it as an extra entrance or exit in the future only for residents. Now the residents can go to Gardens within walking distance via this road, and Mont Kiara International School via the other entrance. That's very connected. So this is rather interesting. They call this the bungalow in the sky. When the floor plate, you only have 4 different units connected by 3 passenger lift, 1 service lift. You're connected to 4 individual units, and none of them share any walls. And per wing is only shared by 2. So one enters this side, the other enters here, right? Then this enters this unit, and this enters there. So that's very private in that sense. And the benefit of typologies like this is you have that independent wall structurally that gives you the freedom to locate windows anywhere you want. So the spatial quality within the unit is going to be so amazing. So in terms of facility wise, I felt that it's very basic. So whatever required and whatever is necessary, right, it's all included. That's also with certain concerns because of the very low number of units. If they don't use this, right, if they were to really like put the facility there on steroids, it's going to only pump up the maintenance cost. But on the good side is on the rooftop. In this particular location, there's this culture of cycling workouts, aerobic workouts, studio workouts. And within proximity, there's like 4 to 5 gyms. In Kiara 163, on Paprika as well, you have a few more. So working out is part of the culture here. And they located the Sky Gym, the Sky Cycling Studio, and the Sky Terrace on top of the building. That's very nice. Today we are going to check out this unit type E2634 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2 utility rooms, 5 plus 1 powder room. Coming into the unit, this is the foyer, and as we are quite familiar by now, you can see the clear designation between open spaces and private spaces, where here you have the bedrooms along with the family hall on this side. And right from the foyer, it's very thoughtful that they put the powder room first and the utility for ease of storage. Moving on, this will be the open area, and you can just check this out. The living and the dining is just laid horizontally. Wow. And that half of it is the dry kitchen as well as the wet kitchen behind. Then you have this small little guest room, but they told me that it's going to be a hobby room or your studio or whatsoever that comes with its own ensuite. Then at the back here, you will have your utility room, or you want to convert it into a maid's room is also possible. Something to highlight would be the separation of kitchen and the yard space, because they have such space, they can separate it out so your laundry or your clothes don't smell like the food that you cook. And because this is a bungalow layout, every side you get windows, which is amazing. And coming into the unit, this is a 1 meter clearance door, and you will reach this pit stop area where you have your powder room here, so your guests can somewhat clean up first. I like the window, I like the full height wall tiles. In terms of specs, they will be providing Roca for WC and basin. Then next to the powder room, you will have this storeroom. You come back home, the first thing is to put in your golf clubs, or you put in your strollers, or you put in your stuff. Also, the switches will be from Legrand, and every unit comes with its own smart lock. That's great. And this will be the demarcation of private and open. So this space is a combination of your dining and living and your dry kitchen. Whenever you have your friends over here, this is usually where you will mingle and hang out for the entire evening. Even if I'm preparing drinks here or I'm cooking, I can still get to connect with my friends. The scale is amazing. From this wall to this wall, it's 6.6 meters wide, 3 meters high, and that includes the balcony's width as well. Okay, now coming out to the balcony, this is around a width of 1.4 meters, but it's 6.6 meters in length, where it's just insane. For the treatments of the handrails, you have the steel and glass handrails, that's nice, built on a curb, and you have a drain here just for your water to flow through during rain. Nice. Just something to point out as well, this developer has been the main driver for this location. This is where they really built everything from scratch. Hence, if you can see around that area, I think the most famous one will be R22, Residency 22. And you judge based on the appearance of that, the architectural language of that, it's going to be almost similar with this project itself. And that's very exciting, because it's also located in between Jalan Kiara 3 and 4. So it's pretty similar, where they have the dual kind of entrance and exit. Next to the living and dining, this will be the dry kitchen area. And please do check with the sales staff on what will be provided in terms of the cabinets. But I wish it's this set because it looks super good along with the backsplash, right? So they are giving Tekka for basin, and they are giving Ubik, right? These are the one where you can take it out and put it back again. This is when you're on, this is when you're off. So that's very cool. I really like the design detailing so far in the project. Because of the current pandemic, we kind of changed our lifestyle, and with that, they are now using QR codes for your lift if you don't have the access card, because sometimes people just forget, right? They also introduced this touchless lift because they want to minimize touch before you get into your home. Because they have built so many different developments and they collect feedback, there's always shortage of plugs around here, but I don't want to commit to only putting the points, because if not, there's 5 points here but you only use one, then it's not so aesthetically pleasing. Therefore, this kind of technology makes a lot of sense here. Moving on, we will be heading into the wet kitchen area, and this will be the yard space. So this kitchen is laid out in a linear form, and you have 1.6 meters in terms of width, where you have your cabinets top and bottom here with your black splash. Then you have tikka basins, tikka hood and hob along with your oven. Then you have your fridge. This kitchen space might be a little bit too long because it feels kind of claustrophobic, because there's no windows at all, hence it will be dark without lights. This will be the exit out to the service area as well as the refuse, and this will be the yard space. And at the end, you will have another storage space if you want to, or it can be a maid's room with her own bathroom. Nice. Moving on, next to the living room, and there's this unique room at the corner. This will be what they call the hobby room. After visiting so many different projects, right, it's pretty rare that we come into a project that is a real 4-bedroom unit. Because the more common ones would be the dual key, where you have a 3-bedroom or 1 unit, then you kind of have that studio on the end. They call it a 4-bedroom. This is a true 4-bedroom unit in a bungalow in a sky setting. Let's say if I have 2 kids, right, minimally I will need 3 rooms already. What if I need storage space? What if I need a studio? What if I need a home office, a place to work on, because we are now very familiar with that? This form of layout then makes a lot of sense. Even if you don't know what to do with this can either be your guest room or a place for you to express yourself in terms of art, to really connect with your passion. Anyway, this would be the size of the window panels. The room comes with engineered timber, and this room also comes with his own ensuite. So if this is a guest room also, it will be very convenient. Full height wall tiles. Again, Roca basin and WC, shower screen, shower. Something to also highlight, a design feature for apartments in Mont Kiara, right? They have this mixer where you can have both hot water and cold water. And I've just learned that today too. Pretty cool. Now moving over to the private areas. This is rather interesting because of this corridor here, right? You can actually partition. That makes it more private if you want to, just in case, because this will be the bedrooms along with your family halls, and at the end will be your principal bedroom. Something to point out, this will be floor tiles. They call it the lapato finish, where you kind of have that reflective yet textured layer. It's not polished, it's not matte. And let's head on to the first room here. Wow! This is usually a scale of a principal bedroom for a standard 900 square feet or 800 square feet unit, right? Because the width from wall to wall is already 2.8 meters. With the ceiling height of 3, that's very spacious. After putting in a queen size bed with bedside tables, you still have a lot of space that can put in your desk and wardrobes, along with this huge window. Again, this is a topology that I really like because it's not full height, so it's easier to maintain as well. You have engineered timber flooring with timber skirtings and an ensuite bathroom, so it's pretty standard. Roca basin and WC shower screen, full height wall tiles along with a mixer tap. So coming out from the bedrooms, one observation that I really like would be the door orientation. None of them face open areas, hence they are more discreet. So the last thing you want is when your guest comes to the house and when you go into your room, everybody sees your entire room. And then this can be your family hall, or into this context would most likely be transformed into a home office. And also because this room comes with a 2 set of windows, it's a very nice room. You can even install a glass door here. Moving on to the end, this will be the principal bedroom. Also something to talk about, this location, it's really that love or hate kind of relationship. It's either you really like it here or you absolutely don't. Because the lifestyle of people around here is seriously pretty unique. Whenever morning and evenings, right, you can really see people walking or jogging around that path, especially around Jalan Kiara 4, where it's a little bit more private. And because of that typology of Mont Kiara being so dense, but yet the door-to-door experience, if the residents wish to get a coffee or to just grab a bite or send their kids to school, right, it's very convenient where it's just a walking distance away. I guess we'll check that out later. So this is the queen size bed, bedside tables. After putting the bed, you have so much space some more. And that's going to be the window scale. This will be the walk-in wardrobe. So for this entire development, what they are trying to do is to just elevate the residents away from all the hustle and bustle. That's why their name is called Allevia, and that will be reflected in all their design approach and treatments, including this. So here you have for him, for her, all of this will be provided. Then you have your window there along with your standalone bathtub by Roca. Then you have your compartments for stuff, which is very nice. Your shower area, nicely covered. Then you will have your WC here. So for a freehold unit like this, it's going to cost around 850 per square feet. So this unit here is going to be around 2.3 to 2.4 million. guess that's all for the unit. Just trying to imagine if I were to shout for somebody to come up from that room, right, it will take a while for them to reach. That's how big this space is. And now let's check out the site along with the commercial areas surrounding it. Now we are directly next to the construction access. Too bad we cannot go in. If you look into the drone shot, the site is sandwiched between this existing building and the building next to it. And that's the typology of the apartments in Mont Kiara itself. So many may wonder why it's so congested, yet people like to stay here and they are paying big bucks just to stay here. If you really like the lifestyle around here, where usually people here prefer walking than taking the car, that's why you have all these pedestrian walkways. This is one of the last piece of this Mont Kiara land, because after this the rest is all Dutamas area and things like that. The second thing we need to talk about would be the direct access from Jalan Kiara 4. There's a debate whether you want to use Jalan Kiara 3 that connects to Segambut or you want to use Jalan Kiara 4 as the main access. To me, I prefer this one, although it's a little bit more narrow, but it only caters to two developments, Allevia and the neighbouring lot. So only residents of these two buildings will be using this road in the future, and that provides privacy. If you do not stay here, you wouldn't drive all the way in this road. And if you look into this development again, it's really in between MKIS, Mont Kiara International School, and Gardens. And they are already having conversations with MKIS in having that direct connection in to their school. And if that happens, right, then it's going to be so convenient. That's something to point out. Then a 5 to 10 minutes walk, right, on the designated pedestrian walkway, you will reach Alcoris and Kiara 163. So from there you get to walk through the development and head on to Jalan Kiara 1. And coming right across Alcoris, we are now at Kiara 1. So you can see the roads are really busy right now. And while you're walking around here, you will notice several things. The first one is you will have a lot of cafes. Then the second thing you notice, there will be a lot of fitness center around here. And that's why Olivia also adopted part of it in their rooftop facility. And last of all, there will be just a lot of people, especially international friends around this area. So suddenly you feel like, hey, this is not like Malaysia at all. Then right next to our Alcoris, you will have 163 Retail Park here, where basically it's like a neighborhood mall, a lot of things to eat. Seriously, a lot of things to eat. And right in front of that, you have this junction that connects Plaza Mont Kiara, where all the offices are. And right in front will be one Mont Kiara mall. So it's a very happening intersection. And it just shows how convenient this location is. So I guess that's all for this episode. It's now time for Sean Take 3 on 3. Three things I like. Number one would be the Mont Kiara locations. We discussed this is somewhat that love-hate relationship towards it. On the good side, without a car, you can basically live here already, where there's education centers, there are schools, there are offices, there are retail malls, cafes in abundance, workout studios in abundance. And then a very nice place for you to live and bring up a family. And this particular project, I think, is one of the last pieces of Mont Kiara land already, because after that it's going to be Segambut already. It's really at the fringe. Therefore, not familiar, Jalan Kiara 3 is really that road that connects Mont Kiara over to Segambut area. It's going to have a different experience compared to Jalan Kiara 1. So I'm very happy that they use Jalan Kiara 4 as the main entrance instead of Jalan Kiara 3. But because of the typologies around this area, it's just feasible to have openings on both directions because of the surrounding facilities. The dual frontage and dual connection kind of typology really works, especially when you are walking distance away from Alcoris, Kiara 163 as well. And if the connection to MKIS happen, right, sure. Not only that, Mont Kiara has always been a very popular location because of its density of international schools, also the connectivity of major highways, plus its distance to KL. You're really a highway away from any major locations, from Bangsar Maju to PJ to Bangsar, KL, and etc. It's seriously very connected. The second thing would be the track record of the developer itself, because They were the main driving company for this location, hence you can see a lot of their past works around here. So one of the latest one would be R22 that is going to be pretty similar to Allevia, and I really like their approach on being very pedestrian centric, where you have all the pedestrian walkways, you have CCTVs all around, and the township is just really well planned. And because of that, right, leads to point number 3. They have done up so many different projects around this location. They really understand the market here. What I really enjoy is the design details, such as the mixer for the tap to have hot and cold water. Then you have the U-Big, the portable plug points, which is just convenient. Then on your principal bedroom, you will have that master control, where you're going to control all the light. When I want to sleep, it wouldn't make sense to go and switch on the light. And for a very rare 4-bedroom units, which I can turn into 5 if I want to, I can turn into 3 if I want to, I'll partition up the principal bedrooms and etc. Right? That's just amazing because it's a bungalow, 4 units per floor, and you have 2 towers which are distanced away as much as they can. So you kind of enjoy that privacy in terms of this very quiet road. You have the privacy once you come up from the lift. You only need to share the access with another neighbor, and in the unit itself is demarcated into private and open space very clearly. Then as mentioned, not one bedroom faces an open area. I really like that. Then for the 3 things I don't like, that head portion of the address, right? There are just a lot of people in Mont Kiara, a lot of residential towers. The density, right, is just overwhelming. Right next to the site, you have existing apartments sandwiching the site. So that's something to take into consideration. And then point number 2, because of that amount of density, the time zone here is a little bit different because of the international school. So it's around 2 to 3 o'clock, right? There will be congestion right in front of MKIS as well as Garden International School. That's why it's going to be really jammed in those areas. Circulation pathway here are all controlled by a mere traffic light. That's why it's going to be really packed. And last of all, this has always been a favorite for expat. The uncertainty of MM2H becomes an issue for me, because whether or not it's being final or it's being revised, right, it will really affect the market here in terms of buyer as well as tenants. Because if you were to really pay attention to all the retail lots here, it doesn't feel like Malaysia at all. The amount of cafes here, the amount of international food choices here is just crazy. But there's nothing much we can do regarding that policy, so yeah. And I guess that's all for this episode. Thank you very much for the team for having me. It's really cool to learn the ultimate high-rise living area, which is Mont Kiara. But the new phases are still selling very well. The previous phase before this, which is Estrella, has also tremendous sales performance, and this explains individual preference. If you're not familiar with the lifestyle of this area, you will not understand the charm of Mont Kiara. But if you really enjoyed it, people are upgrading from old Mont Kiara apartment to the new ones, which is amazing, right, in terms of learning curves. And I think that's all for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and if you really like this episode, like it, share it, and even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sean Tan. Ciao.